In May 1941, a lone Allied vessel sinks into icy Atlantic waters, doomed by unseen forces steering beneath the heavy fog. Millions of lives hang in the balance while invisible radio waves carry encrypted messages that no human mind can read. One impossible cipher machine holds the secret to global domination, threatening to extinguish freedom forever unless an unsung team can crack the uncrackable code. The German Enigma machine appeared utterly unbreakable, possessing over 158 quintillion theoretical rotor configurations. Every midnight, military operators changed the daily settings, wiping away all Allied progress in a single second. The enemy believed their communications were an impenetrable fortress, leaving military strategists stranded in complete darkness, while the war raged across continental Europe with terrifying speed and destructive power. Deep in the English countryside, an obscure Victorian estate named Bletchley Park became top-secret station X here. Far from bomb raids, British intelligence quietly gathered an extraordinary coalition of eccentric thinkers, university mathematicians, chess grandmasters, and linguists. They were told nothing of their true mission until arriving at the gates, where secrecy became an absolute life-or-death law that governed every waking moment. Wooden huts rapidly sprouted across the estate grounds to house thousands of covert workers operating under strict departmental division. No single worker possessed the entire picture, preventing catastrophic leaks if captured by enemy spies. Intelligence arrived in wooden boxes via dispatch riders day and night, transforming this tranquil countryside retreat into the nerve center of the global war against tyrannical fascism and relentless conquest. Among these eccentric minds stepped Alan Turing, a brilliant Cambridge mathematician who realized human brains could never match mechanical speed. While conventional codebreakers searched for linguistic clues, Turing envisioned building an artificial mechanical intellect capable of testing thousands of combinations per second. His radical concept pushed code-breaking out of traditional human guesswork and directly into the birth of modern automated computing science. Time was the codebreaker's greatest enemy, as every 24 hours rendered yesterday's decrypted keys completely useless. When the clock struck midnight, German forces rotated their plugboard cables and rotor settings, resetting the entire cryptanalytical puzzle to zero. This brutal race against time drained the analysts, forcing them to start from scratch every single morning while Allied casualties mounted across global battlefields. Listening posts across Britain intercepted vast streams of encrypted Morse code floating through the electromagnetic radio ether. Radio operators sat in freezing wooden sheds with headphones clamped tight, writing down endless blocks of nonsensical gibberish transmitted from enemy territory. Every garbled letter held life-saving secrets, but without a working key, these intercepted signals remained tantalizing noise hidden inside terrifying silence. Gordon Welchman joined forces with Turing, adding a brilliant invention known as the diagonal board to the conceptual machine. This mathematical shortcut exponentially reduced the vast search space by exploiting electrical symmetry within the Enigma wiring circuits. Together, their combined theoretical breakthrough meant an electromechanical device could eliminate millions of impossible key settings in a fraction of a single hour. The physical result was the bomb machine, a massive electromechanical titan containing dozens of spinning copper drums. Standing over 6 feet tall and weighing over a ton, these machines hummed like busy factory looms inside high-security rooms. Each revolving drum simulated an Enigma rotor, testing electrical connections at unheard-of speeds, hunting relentless mathematical contradictions buried within encrypted enemy messages. Yet machinery alone was not enough. Success relied on human flaws committed by tired German radio operators. Predictable operator habits, such as reusing personal girlfriend's initials or beginning routine weather reports with identical phrases, provided vital entry points called cribs. Codebreakers exploited these tiny human slips, turning routine military laziness into the sharp key that opened the most secure encrypted vaults. Analysts spent endless hours mapping cipher text against suspected original words, searching for mathematical overlaps that proved a match. Because Enigma rules prevented any letter from encrypting to itself, sharp eyes could immediately rule out millions of impossible alignments. These subtle logical exclusions allowed Bletchley's teams to narrow down massive permutation fields, transforming endless chaotic noise into precise mathematical leads. Women comprised nearly 70% of Bletchley Park's workforce, serving not only as machine operators, but as master cryptanalysts. Minds like Joan Clark broke barriers, rapidly solving complex naval ciphers that stumped senior male colleagues for months. Their uncredited intellectual rigor proved absolutely vital, directly outsmarting enemy naval command and changing the course of maritime intelligence strategy during critical war years. Out in the cold North Atlantic, German U-boat wolf packs were devastating Allied supply convoys with terrifying efficiency. Entire fleets of merchant ships vanished beneath freezing waves, choking essential food and ammunition supplies bound for besieged Britain. The naval Enigma used 8 specialized rotors instead of 3, plunging Bletchley Park into complete darkness, while Britain stood on the verge of total economic starvation. Desperate for breakthroughs, British commandos executed heroic boarding actions to capture codebooks directly from sinking German vessels. Armed boarding parties braved flooded compartments on crippled submarines, retrieving priceless key tables and code manuals before ocean waters swallowed the evidence forever. These captured documents handed Bletchley Park the exact cribs needed to shatter the complex naval cipher network once and for all. Inside Hut 8, tension reached unprecedented heights as Turing's team worked sleepless days to translate captured intelligence into actionable insights. Every hour delayed meant thousands of sailors drowning in icy Atlantic waters while cargo ships burned on the horizon. The relentless mental pressure weighed heavily upon these secret scholars, who carried the survival of nations on their exhausted shoulders without recognition. Finally, the theoretical equations unlocked the naval grid, suddenly exposing every submarine position across the Atlantic map in real time. Allied convoys safely rerouted around waiting Wolfpack lines, saving millions of tons of crucial shipping material. The tide of the Battle of the Atlantic turned dramatically, proving that silent mathematical victory on land could alter the brutal physical reality of naval warfare. But an even greater challenge emerged as German High Command introduced Lawrence, a formidable cipher machine far more complex than Enigma. Used exclusively for strategic communications between Hitler and his top field marshals, Lawrence possessed 12 rotors with millions of unpredictable teleprinter settings. Bletchley was blind once more to supreme enemy strategy, forcing cryptanalysts to invent completely unprecedented logical paradigms from thin air. Mathematical genius Max Newman realized mechanical gears were too slow, sparking telephone engineer Tommy Flowers to design a revolutionary electronic machine. Utilizing thousands of glowing glass vacuum tubes, Flowers proposed reading paper tapes electronically at incredible speeds. Skeptics claimed thousands of delicate tubes would constantly burn out, but Flowers pressed forward, building the monumental Colossus, the world's first programmable electronic digital computer. In February 1944, Colossus roared into service, reading 5,000 characters per second from high-speed punched paper tape. The heat inside the machine room was intense as thousands of radio tubes processed data instantly, reducing weeks of manual calculation into mere hours. Colossus proved electronic digital computation was not just possible, but could perform complex logic operations faster than human imagination. Decoded Lawrence transcripts revealed supreme strategic intelligence, including Hitler's exact orders prior to the massive tank battle at Kursk. Armed with complete knowledge of enemy dispositions, Allied forces anticipated every strategic maneuver, effectively neutralizing massive offensive operations before they began. This unprecedented intelligence stream, codenamed Ultra, shortened the global war by an estimated 2 to 4 years, saving millions of lives. Maintaining the Ultra secret required ruthless discipline, often forcing Allied leadership to make agonizing, heart-wrenching decisions. Commanders could not defend every target warned by intelligence, as doing so would alert enemy command that their ciphers were compromised. Fake reconnaissance flights were routinely staged to provide plausible cover stories before striking, ensuring the true source of Bletchley's miraculous knowledge remained hidden in shadow. When victory finally arrived in 1945, Winston Churchill ordered Bletchley Park's operations completely dismantled and silenced. The revolutionary Colossus computers were smashed into pieces, blueprints burned, and workers sworn to absolute secrecy under penalty of treason. These brilliant codebreakers quietly returned to ordinary civilian life, unable to tell family or friends that their silent work saved Western civilization from dark tyranny. Tragically, Alan Turing received no public recognition during his lifetime, facing tragic persecution before his early death in 1952. Only decades later was the veil of official secrecy lifted, revealing that Bletchley Park was the true birthplace of modern digital computing and artificial intelligence. The intellectual blueprints drawn inside these humble wooden huts laid the foundation for every digital device we use today. Today, Bletchley Park stands as a quiet monument to human intellect, proving that thought, logic, and determination can overcome overwhelming mechanical force. As you navigate our modern digital world of algorithms and encrypted networks, remember the unsung geniuses who decoded history's darkest secrets in silence. The ultimate question remains: had you stood in their shoes, could you have broken the code?